players in order to win money. You could say you're using every means to get food. Catch a rabbit in a trap like he did. It's just a basic operation. Someone with a little skill will catch the grouse himself. It really is a set of one quasi. Of course, there are homemade hooks to catch big fish. The size is quite large. Look at this, and it's even more dramatic. I'm afraid it's a lot bigger than my thighs. The hoard of food is also quite abundant. Would you have gotten this much food in the past? The challenge continued until the 40th day. The camera goes to Clegg. He's trying to build a range hood type smoke baffle. The material, of course, was the deer skin. This will help avoid setting the shelter on fire. The finished product looks pretty good. Now you can put the rest of the fish into the soup. Clegg thought he had it all too good. There's basically nothing to worry about right now. Okay, as long as there are no major health problems, then the bonus should be solid. I don't know how many contestants are left. I miss home, and people come by early to check out the shelter. If you can keep it, invite your friends and family over for a picnic when you're free. It's really a good time to relax. Clegg remembered how he had not handled the rabbit properly before. It gets stuck in your teeth when you eat it. That was pretty hard. That's pretty skillful at handling it on your own now. I kind of miss the smell of rabbits. I wonder if I'll ever catch a rabbit. The meat must be well preserved. He doesn't want to get chewed up by rats. There's still smoke in the shelter, though, but it's a lot better than before. How about we check the traps next? I just got some jerky last night. I found a rat feeding over there. So angry he wanted to set the rat on fire. You know you're trying to protect yourself from being eaten. That's a lot of energy put into storage. He doesn't want to lose food because of rats. Although jerky can last a long time. But I'm not gonna lie around and wait for my bonus. Clegg insisted on going to work every day, looking for food. He dare not eat too much food at one time. Make it a point to eat a certain amount each day. As long as I don't faint from hunger, he's prepared to stay here for hundreds of days. We need more fresh meat. Too bad there aren't any surprises in this trap. I wonder where all the rabbits are hanging out around here. Clegg plans to look further afield. You don't get food in the shelter. This is where you hunt your own moose. It's been a long time since I've been here. The rest of the moose bones are still here. Suddenly a lot of ideas come into my head. We're gonna take this bone off and make it into something else. Looking back, they've moved many times since they got married. Can't provide a stable environment for a child. I need this prize money to make my life better. So you must do your best to throw yourself into the challenge. We can build a big house by then. Send your child to a better school. I can feel less pressure myself. Do more of what you love. We're pretty much done with the bones. What do you think he's planning to do? I think we're taking it home for soup. The bone marrow is good food. After all, Mr. Clegg laughed but said nothing. The challenge continued until day 41. The camera goes to Sarah. It had been a long time since she had enjoyed the sun. I feel like my whole body is refreshed. I did a simple hand skin test on myself, even if you're drinking water every day, but it's still very short of water. Worry will affect the next challenge. Compared with when I came, my body is much weaker. All I can do right now is heat up the soup for energy. Hopefully this will ease the fatigue a bit. Still curious to see how the other contestants are doing. She thinks she's done a pretty good job, just a little less food hoarding. I hope the other contestants didn't get much food either. At least I have a few more days with experience. She's a little slow to adjust to the environment here. Just keep trying to get comfortable. I did feel much better after eating the soup. We'll have to cut down and carry some firewood. I feel tired just sawing wood now. The worst part was the pain that started to appear under the ribs. Not that it hurts so much that you can't work, but it's very uncomfortable to keep going. The body is already very weak. After all, she is old. Give her more food to eat. I don't think I'm gonna get better anytime soon. We just have to see if the other players can get out early. I don't think Sarah's gonna be able to make it in a couple of days. She wanted to keep going. I don't want to quit the challenge and get out of here. The mood is getting worse and worse. Worried about being carried back by the show crew. I'll only see my family at the hospital. I don't know how long Sarah will last though, but one thing is for sure, she won't get the bonus. Let's see what Parz was doing there after dark. I woke up feeling a little hungry, just in time to take out the leftover fish head. Parz could only get 1 or 2 pieces of meat down to make soup. Man, it's all about the grease. Pets thinks it's a trick on the gut. I hope this will help me sleep better at night. It's lonely to be out here on your own. I often wonder if I want to quit the challenge and go home. I think about things every day after work. Parz doesn't know how long he'll last. It was very boring. He's going to see what's going on at the gill nets. You know, it's black outside. It's really easy to go wrong with that light. Pets wasn't worried about that at all. I even began to fantasize about catching a bunch of fish. I was worried he'd fall in the water. The temperature does drop a lot at night. The worst part was when Pets heard the wolf howling. Pets didn't let that deter him. Instead, speed up and check the gill nets. Talking about being attacked by wolves, but that foot is headed for the gill net. Let's just hope the wolves aren't interested in Parz anymore. If you can stick to it, then I'm sure I can get a good ranking. It's gonna be frozen over here tomorrow. It's going to be harder to catch fish. Think back to when I was in school. I didn't like the school thing. After finishing high school, he put himself into society. In the end, I decided that wilderness survival was more suitable for me. Although there are many things encountered during the period, but I made it through. Too bad the night trap didn't bring any surprises, did it? Pets was eager to ask who else was challenging him. I had such a hard time myself. How do the others keep going? It was dark and there were wolves howling. I had to go back to the shelter and rest. It's much more comfortable in the shelter. I wanted to see the stars in the sky. I can't believe I broke my glasses again. The rupture is a little bit severe. Let's see if we can get these glasses fixed. fixed. If there's a problem here, it's deadly for survival in the wild. There's no way to hunt for food on your own, and Clegg's busy catching rats. He had to make sure the food was safe. It's better to sleep less than to have a problem with jerky. It's just one position for a long time, and that's pretty hard. I feel a tear in my lower body. Where the hell is that rat? I just don't want to go to the trap. And when Parz got back, he started fixing them right away. I want to heat up the paracord this time, using the drops of glue to fuse together. It looks like you're welding. It's not a bad combination. It shouldn't fall apart for a while, at least. William's side is different. He's been up all night thinking about how to be better. You know, I do have a lot of ideas. How do you store food better? It's got pictures on it that you can see when you look up. It's like having family around all the time. Why can't Sarah sleep? There's a throbbing pain from the kidney. No matter what posture you take, you're not relieved. Are you having any serious health problems? It's like being stabbed in the heart. Sarah's not ready to end up in the hospital for a challenge. Now she wants to call the doctor.
Oh my God. It's horrible.
I barely made it to dawn. Things aren't getting any better. Sarah found it hard to keep her body upright. She wanted to try and hold on a little longer, going over there to see if there are any birds. It would be nice to hunt one. Sarah had never experienced such pain. I hope I get better. I don't see any birds around here. Now I feel a little dizzy after looking up for a long time. Sarah's body is getting worse and worse. I didn't drink enough water, or I ate the wrong things. She doesn't know what's going on. I just don't have the strength to walk now. Sarah didn't expect it to hurt so much. You know, it's a lot of wilderness survival. The body is at its limit. Get the program on the phone right now. I hope I can get here soon and take her to the hospital. The show was expecting a bad day for the next contestant. I just didn't expect this class to quit so quickly. Sarah was trying to ignore the medical problems, but the pain was more than I could bear. She didn't want to break her body for the prize money. Not bad for making it this far. Now quit the challenge and go home. I believe the family will understand and support. It's not a good decision to quit the challenge. Brain has a voice that says it can hold on a little longer, but the pain of the body was there to warn. It's hard to ignore and keep going. Can last 42 days here. Sarah was very proud of it. I don't know how long the rest of them will last. I hope we can break the previous record. She just wants to get home and be together. I haven't seen my granddaughter in a long time. I wonder how she's doing now. This trip didn't just improve your survival skills. I also have a deeper understanding of life. Even if this challenge is over, Sarah will go on to survive in the wild. Constantly hone your skills to surpass yourself. With Sarah's withdrawal from the challenge, there are only 3 players left in the field. I don't know who you'll see more of.
I wish it was constant.
Definitely getting closer.
The challenge continued until the 43rd day. William is going to eat the stored food. In theory, no animal can get in there and steal it. He was quite confident of it. You can see that the meat covered in rubble hasn't spoiled. You can put the food in the back, too. A little meat to cook is enough for the day. It does look like an odd hand, but there's still a lot of meat on it. William tried to spread his limited food over as many days as possible. He doesn't think people are hoarding enough food. It's all about who can starve the most. So just eat a little meat every day to satisfy your cravings. Does anyone have enough food now? When the ice is safe enough, you can go up there and try fishing yourself. He didn't believe he could stay in the Air Force. The meat is almost cooked. William cut the meat slightly. It's all good protein. Can make the stomach become more comfortable. Immediately put the processed meat in your mouth to taste. It's a lot tastier than normal meat. William always believed that. Pain is just a sign of weakness. Even if things get worse, I'm sure you can get over it if you keep at it. The food stocks are still a little low. The best thing is to get a big fish to hoard. He just wondered how many players were on the field. Why aren't the show over yet? The challenge continued until the 45th day. William feels in good shape. Let's see if we get anything from the trap. Too bad there's no trace around. Food resources become even scarcer when winter comes. It feels like the rabbits are fleeing somewhere else. I had no choice but to get some more beaver. I don't know if we'll get any food before we finish. So far the storage here is working well. You don't have to worry about animals coming to eat them. It's just getting the rocks out like this every time is really tiring. If you can, I prefer something more convenient. To William's surprise, the meat inside was gone. What happened to the deal that no animals would get in? The atmosphere suddenly became tense. William is so pissed off that he doesn't know what to say. He couldn't figure out what went wrong. Man, you hide your meat every day, and you keep eating it. I'd put it in my stomach. William clears out all the stones. Could a rat get in there and eat all the meat? There wasn't much food in the first place. Now it's getting worse. William thought it was the safest place. I didn't know the animals were so ferocious. I shouldn't have hoarded food for so long. Maybe we should hang it up in the shelter. He still doesn't know what it was.
Completely out of food, and now it looks like I might even have to fast.
It's freaking devastating.
How's it going with Clegg? He's making canyon hooks. The main material is the moose ribs. Try to break this up. See if you can get a decent edge. It's more like a big thorn than a hook. You can go right inside the bait. When the fish swallows this, it will stick in his throat. Once they turn sideways, they can't break free. Clegg thinks it's just as it should be. There must be fish in theory. If it works well, you can make more yourself. All those hooks must be able to catch a fish. Now I'm getting better at it, and make different styles to see what the fish like. He can't wait to get this set up. Now, how about we take a look at the trap? Eating jerky while walking. Clegg thinks this life is really good. There are 5 traps nearby. All you need is a hit. He has been wondering how much food to hoard is enough. It would be nice to know how the other players are doing. Now I can only put my best efforts into it. Conservatively, it's gonna take another month. As things stand now, as long as nothing goes wrong, staying 70 days is no problem. He thinks William, Jack and Parz might still be on the field. I have to say Clegg's guess was pretty good, so he didn't let up even when he hunted moose, because he knew these people were particularly hungry. It's impossible to think about their condition in terms of common sense. I thought the trap was gonna fall flat today. I didn't realize the last trap had a live rabbit. Clegg picked up his stick and went straight for it. The rabbit is done with a single stroke. The size is really good. I have food to eat again. The little life is getting better and better. It means a lot to me to get this rabbit. I can't survive on rabbit alone, but add in all the fat you've been hoarding. The rabbit can make the body more energetic. He's already pulled the rabbit's head off. Next, he has to get rid of the rabbit. I wonder what happens when you apply moose oil. He can't wait to taste it. Clegg thinks every hunt should be filled with gratitude. Then nature will bring food. I don't know how many people started against him. Fortunately, I have persevered until now. Even moose can be hunted. I don't think anyone thinks he's dying right now. Because successfully caught the rabbit, the mood is not good. Clegg began to share his life again. He's been to a lot of places. I know a lot of things I haven't seen on the internet. The reality is even crueler than I imagined. If you have a whole family, that's a lot happier than half the population. He didn't really want to remember the bad things. I just wish people would get out more. There are a lot of people who need help, especially if it's under fire. Many times harder than the challenge of living alone in the wilderness. You can quit when you're not feeling well. They can't say get out of there. There's one more thing I can't let go of. It's my brother getting out of here. We used to be so close. I just didn't think about delivering pizza. They're gonna get shot by people walking by. The impact of this on Clegg is huge. I was silent for a long time to feel how fragile and precious life is. Then he went to the orphanage to help with the children. The children lost their spirits one by one. I can only help a little. The moment I saw them smile, Clegg knew there was something there he wanted. Because I have experienced too much, exposed to too many different things. Some places are violated by helping others. Clegg just wants to see the fear seriously removed from someone. It's like falling in love and losing her completely. He suggested the editor get it out. It's important to look back on the champion's journey.
So now you know Timber a little better. That's me in a nutshell.
Challenged to 46 days. William was in a slump when he lost his food. I'm not as confident as I was. He wondered what else he could get to eat now. I was hungry all day long and cooing. I wouldn't have hidden in the rubble. There's so much beaver left to eat. This negativity can't continue. William said he still had a chance to get food. Force yourself to get up and look outside. The best option right now is to try ice fishing. It looks like it's thick enough. He's gonna get an ice ladder to the middle for safety. Luckily, there's no shortage of materials around. It took a while to put things in order. William wasn't sure how thick the ice was. In theory, it should hold up. There's no turning back for him now. If you haven't caught any fish in a few days, I have no way to fight it. The ladder is ready. William tried to step on it. I don't think it's gonna hit the water right away. I was already nervous. Suddenly a bird flew out from behind. He didn't think the ice was very safe. After some hesitation, I decided to go bird hunting. After all, fishing is not always successful, but the bird just needs to be careful. I have a good chance of hunting myself. You can see the bird flying in this direction. William followed it all the way and found it resting there. Now let's see if we can touch it. I didn't know grouse had a high appetite for survival. Fortunately, it didn't scare it away. William needs to be more focused now. The noose was getting closer and closer to his neck. It turns out that grouse catching is a lot easier than fishing, though it keeps flapping its wings trying to break free. But William doesn't leave food alone. He thought he was very lucky. Take the grouse to the shore and clean it up immediately. William was now so excited that he was dancing. It turns out that as long as there's enough food nearby, even if he lost the beaver, he could get meat quickly. You can't go on like this forever. The point is that you can bait the guts you don't eat. The success rate of fishing that is greatly improved. The grouse is almost ready for cooking. This grouse would be better with fish. After treatment, it looks even more attractive. William just wanted to bite into his mouth. What's more special is this thing. People used to hang them on their Christmas trees, and it blows up like a balloon. The pine needles inside look even more beautiful. William thought he could celebrate a little. The finished product does look a bit magical. Some high-end ingredients don't need cooking at all. The challenge continues until the 47th day. The camera goes to Parz. He doesn't know why he suddenly feels sick. Throw up right in the shelter. Didn't get much better until dawn. It felt like the stomach was being whipped. Parz's day off doesn't get any better. Feel the stomach that is more and more uncomfortable. He tried everything to ease it, but it didn't work out very well. It lasted until the 50th day. Parz was just feeling a little better to come out and clean up. The food in the stomach is vomited clean. Got to check the fishing line, and then immediately go back to sleep. I hope this makes me feel better. Parz doesn't have a lot of flesh on his face. After a few days of vomiting, it looks even worse. It feels like it could blow over at any moment. If things continue and don't get better, Parz is gonna get kicked out of the show. The worst part is he doesn't know what's wrong, Don't know how to avoid further diarrhea. The only thing I can think of is reindeer moss. I cooked it 4 times and ate the whole pot. My stomach hasn't hurt since. Maybe you need to eat some carbs later. The easiest thing to get is charcoal. It traps the toxins inside. Whatever Pets could think of, he's gonna try everything he can. I don't want to quit this challenge. This side of the gill net is not causing a wake-up call. Parz thinks it's a shame. It would be nice to stock up on fish before it freezes. It's no wonder to watch past players say, things are getting worse over here, because the show picked a really bad place. Without food, we had to go back to the shelter. I don't think Pets is gonna last much longer. There was neither food nor enough sleep. Is that good enough to survive the others? Unless he can hunt a moose now. I'm withdrawing Parz from the challenge in advance. I don't think I'll get punched in the face in the back. Parz can only remove the meat from the bottom of the box now. It's really one piece at a time. I hope it makes me feel better. Feeling like you're struggling to do anything right now. I worry that I'm going to burn out and wear myself out. I don't know how many contestants are left. At least another month to have any hope of winning the prize. Eat these and go to bed immediately. Pets is feeling a little overwhelmed. Why don't you think about when you're going home? Just put one mouthful in your mouth. Suddenly you see something. Pets feels like it's all over. He didn't think there were bugs in the fillets. Boy, now we know what's causing this stomachache. Parz is still trying to decide whether to finish the rest. Put the fish back in and cook a little longer. Maybe you won't get sick. If he vomits again, they're really gonna have to take him to the hospital. Thinking back to the day I caught the big fish, thought it was a highlight. I didn't know it was going downhill. It should have been checked more carefully. Maybe we wouldn't be this embarrassed if we didn't eat it. So far, Parz has not felt ill since nightfall. Can only keep encouraging myself in front of the camera. Now the strategy is to get through it one day at a time. Let's hope the other contestants quit the challenge soon. I didn't quite understand why someone would give up a bonus and go home. It was my turn to have gastrointestinal problems. He'd like to go to the hospital right now and lie down. Can't do anything on your own now. It's only going to get worse. Even the most basic maintenance of a fire is difficult, not to mention collecting food. Call the show over, and the exit challenge is simple. But it was torture for Parz. He really needs that prize money. I don't know how much longer I can hold out here. Is wilderness survival really anything that can happen? I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this. There were voices in his head telling him to quit the challenge. Ideas that are getting stronger and stronger. It was like something was tapping. Before you know it, you'll be surrounded. Parz doesn't have much time to survive in the wild. The challenge is on day 51. Craig is trying to fish with a canyon hook. If we can catch it, he can put more hooks in the water. One catch in 2 days is pretty good. It was quite warm in the shelter. Clegg can make a souvenir shirtless. Does anyone see that this is a fox? I thought we were carving a pig. Clegg thinks his sons have had it too hard. Because of my job, they always have to say goodbye to many friends. I hope the kids will like these souvenirs. My oldest son was opposed to his coming because we can't see each other for a long time. Clegg gets homesick when he has time off. He had to find something to keep his mind off. Compared to when I first came, I really lost a lot of weight. Even if you eat meat every day, but it still burns a lot of calories. He doesn't know why he's getting thinner. I'm afraid I won't get enough weight to quit the show. I hope we got something on the line. I didn't think a mink was there to touch the line. Looks like he's trying to steal the fish from the water. It's a good thing I found it early, or the fish would be gone. Immediately pull up the line and get the fish up. It was bigger than I thought. It's no use trying to survive. You can catch it with a homemade canyon hook. It's gonna be easier to catch fish. That's a big fish shoved down his throat. It's a fishing miracle. I recommend you get one. Clegg is also trying it for the first time. I didn't want to just pull that fish out. The mood is so good. Thanks to the show for choosing the place. It's like my own happy home. The cold wind blew on his face and became more excited. Now I'm afraid my body will break down. I don't want to retire and go home so early. Before Clegg came to challenge us, his wife agreed with him very much. I hope I can have a good time. It would be even better to bring back the prize money. Give yourself a shout. He felt sure he would get the bonus. The camera goes to Parz. The lake is almost freezing. Pets thought the gill net was going to die. When you don't get a fish, I can't believe we actually got a fish at the gill net. Now Pets can finally get fresh meat. Then we'll just wait for ice fishing. The catch was bigger than expected. As good as my own thighs. That's the equivalent of a week's worth of food. Use snow directly to clean dirt off fish surfaces. It's all about bugs. I didn't find any bugs or anything. Pets is dealing with it faster and faster. I can't wait to eat it whole. To be on the safe side, go back and cook before eating. It feels like things are getting better. Just put the fish in there and hide it. I was kind of happy about it. I didn't expect to find rat droppings inside. It spoils most of the fish. So angry he didn't know what to say. It's got rat droppings and bite marks all over it. Parz doesn't even know if this fish is edible. I'm afraid I'll get cold after eating. To be on the safe side, give up the fish. All the food that was hoarded was inedible. Only the uncontaminated parts can be preserved. I hope this doesn't spoil your stomach. Will he be able to continue the challenge? Let's wait and see.